Dad called me Amber Heard. I found out from my mum that my bio dad called me Amber Heard in a Facebook post because I won't let him meet my child since he abused me my whole life. He's already turned my siblings against me because they still live with him and were too young to remember the worst of it, and I'm the oldest. They don't remember the beatings, the starvation, not having utilities because he spent all our money on drugs and more. Now guys, you know usually that I want to bring you the most entertaining and often funny Entitled Parents posts, but I came across this one and I thought I had to share it with you to show that parents like this still exist, and I think this goes beyond entitled. This literally is abusive. The point being, if you have parents like this, first of all, I'm so sorry for you. Second of all, you're not alone and there are other people that unfortunately have parents like this too. Alright, next up. My mum wants me to wake up before work and cook for her family. First of all, some important information. My parents immigrated from a country in Central Africa, and this sexist mindset is rooted in culture, as this is very much how most people live there. This happened a couple of weeks ago. For some background, I am a 15-year-old girl, and I volunteer at somewhere similar to the YMCA to meet my graduation volunteer hours requirements. For the rest of the story, I'm gonna call it work, because it is work. I'm just getting paid in volunteer hours, while some my age are getting paid in money. Another thing is I promised my mum I'd cook more this summer, because however will I find a husband if I can't cook every dish known to man? I only agreed because she said I couldn't work or volunteer this summer if I didn't. Anyways, on to what happened. My hours are from 10:30 to 4, so I figured it would be best if I came home, shower, then make dinner. The first day was fine, but when I came home on the second day, my mum was annoyed. She didn't even say hello before she scolded me for not making any food that day. I told her I would after I go and shower. She asked what I expected my family of 7, including me, to eat while I was gone. I was dumbfounded, as there are 4 able-bodied adults in this home who could cook food or order it. Plus, there were some leftovers in the fridge, not to mention snacks. I asked her what she wanted me to do about that since I couldn't leave work early. She told me I should wake up before my shift and cook for the family. Now I was angry. I told her that was ridiculous and that I am a teen, not a mum, and I shouldn't have to wake up early and make food for us. Not to mention, when $5 fell out of my pocket at work and I needed lunch, she told me to fast or diet. It won't kill you. So I didn't eat anything for my 5.5-hour shift. She told me that this was only to prepare me for the future, for when I had my own family, husband and kids to cook for. It's funny how she didn't do this for my brother, who is 18, even though he's going to college after the summer ends, so his future family is closer than mine. Then I said the very thing from her nightmares. Well, thanks for showing me, because I now don't want a husband and kids if this is how I have to suffer. She screamed not to say that, because it might make me infertile, and I said, I don't care. I was then yelled at for saying that. Oh, and by the way, the whole time I was crying a bit from the stress. Oh, frick my life. Okay, yeah, just a simple example of some blatant sexism and controlling parental behavior. What more can I add? Disgusting to see, but it happens. Again, as I do often say, 3 more years and you're out of there. I guess just hold on till then if you can, OP. Grandma told me I was going to hell at my birthday dinner. This happened years ago at this point, but I just found this up. For some context, my father died when I was very young, and he was gay, so my grandmother didn't think he was a good influence or parent. Divorce left my mum a single parent, more or less, because my dad really did have a lot going on at the time and wasn't fit to be the sole provider for me. So she relied on my grandparents, my father's parents, for a lot. Because of this, my mum was very reliant on them for money, and usually just let my grandmother have her way about things. Something she got her way about until I turned 18 was that I went to Catholic school. I was an altar girl at church, was ordained to give out the Eucharist during Mass, the whole shebang. On to the story. I was turning 19, and I just moved home that summer from my first year of college. I couldn't afford a second year there, so I moved home and was enrolling in community college. Since I was home for my birthday, my grandparents offered to take me out for dinner. Diners were always their jam, so I picked one I liked and we go to dinner, and we're having a nice time. Then they bring the bill. Grandpa gets up to pay at the counter, as is typical with American diners, and that is when she strikes. Alone at the table with my grandmother for the occasion of my birthday, she proceeds to tell me how disappointed she is that I've stopped going to church, how she feels like I'm wasting the Catholic education she convinced my mother I needed, presumably so I wouldn't turn out gay like my father, and that this deeply saddens her, as I'm surely going to hell as a result. I was stunned. She'd never spoken to me like this before. I don't even know how I responded. I genuinely don't remember. What I do remember is realizing in that moment that nothing I ever accomplished would ever be good enough for her if it didn't include her faith as well. Grandpa came back to the table and she immediately shut up. Grandpa would have never let her say anything like that to me, and certainly not at a celebration for my birthday. It was like once I turned 18 and was really finally able to start making decisions for myself, she realized she was losing control of me. I have plenty more stories about her. She's been a constant presence in my life for years. For instance, the time she tricked me into visiting my father's grave. I'm just not sure how well received the grandparent stories are on this sub. Well guys, good news. As you can probably imagine, the comments on Reddit were demanding to hear the grave story, and so OP as obliged. Here is that story. To give you the short or sweet version, I guess, my dad died when I was 12. When his headstone was ready, Grandma wanted everyone to go out to his grave so a priest could bless the stone or something. I didn't want to go. The funeral was traumatic to say the least. The worst way as a kid to be the center of attention is because one of your parents has just died. Anyways, I refused to go. A few weeks later, and I'm on summer break, and went to my grandparents' house every day while my mum worked. Basically, Grandma went and picked up my favourite cousin, took us to get lunch, and instead of going home after lunch, we ended up at the cemetery. I'd never felt so betrayed in my entire life. My aunt, a different aunt than the one who gives me grief for not visiting, ripped my grandma about 16 new buttholes when she found out. Well, I guess that just confirms, if we didn't already know, that this woman is truly vile. It's as simple as that. You would think that at the age of 12, losing a parent alone would be bad enough, but no. Having your grandma then try and control everything around her and your actions, wow, unbelievable. Parents feel entitled to choose who I can date or not. I am a 27-year-old woman, and I've been with my 22-year-old boyfriend for 6 months now. But before that, we were friends for a long while. He was at an exchange program at my university, and we just hit it off. He's basically my best friend. I can talk to him about anything, and I feel incredibly safe and protected by him. My parents are Muslims. Mum is Asian and dad is Arab. The thing is, he's a recent convert. He converted before we met actually, so entirely his decision. So the chances of my parents being against him is 150% plus. Just the other day, my aunt asked me if I was seeing anyone. I didn't tell her that I was dating or anything of the sort, just that I had a friend I liked. She asked for a picture and I shared it with her. I said I liked him and he likes me, but he's a convert and younger than me. She asked which religion he is from, and I said that his parents are Buddhist. I never mentioned his race to her either. She said he was cute, but she's against it because of the age difference. I'm supposed to be the younger one in the relationship. A few days later, while going on a hellish long drive with my mum, she started bringing up topics about women who marry recent converts being cursed, that their children will be born handicapped, their husbands will cheat on them eventually, and that the guys are only converting because of the girl, not for themselves. So the guys will revert back to whatever their original religion was. She kept asking to see my phone and see if I was going out with anyone. She kept accusing me of keeping secrets from her. She proceeded to tell me that my dad dreamt of me being in a bathtub with a black Nigerian man with horns and having my back turned on my parents in the dream. The year before, my dad dreamt I was naked in a hot tub with some ugly fat guy I don't frickin' know. So now my dad's crying because he thinks that the devil has won and made me stray from the path. I was looking for something on my mum's phone, a video. I scrolled down and there it was, my boyfriend's picture in her phone, sent by my aunt. I felt betrayed, but I kept quiet. I wanted to see where this was going. Today, my mum told me that she dreamt of a Chinese man wearing all red, bowing before her and bobbing his head. This is so racist, I don't even know what to say anymore. She asked me again, much more sternly this time, am I seeing anyone? I said I like someone. She asked if he had slanted eyes. Racist Asian mum language, is he Chinese? I said yes. How long have you known him, she asked. 2 years. You've been keeping that quiet? I told you that I need to screen every single one of your boyfriends. I don't like this guy. He's a convert. He's got slanted eyes and is a lot younger than you. It will never work out. I don't approve of him.
No wonder your father's been crying. He was right.
She wants me to be with someone of similar age, or he needs to be older than me, come from a line of Muslims, is an original Muslim and is religious, and no Buddhist or Chinese, because they hate Muslims and would do whatever it takes to stray Muslims from the right path. My heart just broke. I don't know. Deep down, I wanted them to be okay with this. I feel betrayed by my aunt. I feel like I'm being trapped by my parents. It's gotten to the point where I might just wait until everyone dies before I start to date openly. I love being with him, but I think he deserves better. I'm fine with being single. I'll be sad, sure, but at least I won't make my parents cry over it. I hate making them sad or disappointing them. I can't move out because in Islam, it's illegal for a woman to live on her own. I also can't just elope or marry my boyfriend if we choose to do so because I need blessings from my parents in order to get married. I'm sorry, my mind is a mess right now. I really don't know how to deal with this situation. This is mainly why I never introduced them to my other boyfriends, because I guess deep down, I knew they'd never accept who I choose. So this is pretty disheartening. I'll probably never look for a relationship ever again if this is how the outcome will always be. It's put me off completely. I care about them a lot and I don't want to make them sad, but on the other hand, if I do marry someone they approve of, I'm gonna be honest, it would probably be just for them. I probably silently resent my future husband for this, and it's not fair. I'll be sad if I marry someone they approve, if I can't choose who I like. They'll be sad if I marry someone they don't approve. It feels like the best way is just to not get married, to be honest. Wow, there we go. That is the end of that one. Another example of parents putting their religion before the interests and happiness of their own child. Look, I'm not religious, as you lot know, but I still will never understand this. Even if I was religious, come on. Does this make sense? You lot that are religious, let me know in the comments. Does this make any sense to you? Putting your religion in front of your child's happiness. How? My pregnant ex keeps trying to move into my apartments. This is not my story. This is my friend's story that I'm posting for him because he doesn't have a Reddit account and he wants people to hear about this. Also, for convenience, I'm going to write this in first person because pronouns are hard to keep up with. Everything here is approved by my friend. So, I am a 21-year-old man and I have an ex, Angelica, who is 20. Angelica and I had an on and off relationship since we were about 15. But we got serious when COVID hit and I had to move back to my hometown. We got an apartment together and very soon after, she started spending a lot of time with her cousin. Long story short, she's screwing her cousin. We break up. We've been broken up for 9 months at this point. For 7 of those months, her phone has been on my phone bill and she owes me over $500. Fine, whatever, I'll never see that $500 and she always makes excuses to pay me back. That's life. It's my own fault for letting her keep using me as a cash cow. She also took my car when we broke up and I let her because I was too afraid she'd try and take my apartment too. Anyway, it's 9 months past our breakup and I get this message. Hey, I'm pregnant. I'm on my way home from work so I don't respond. That is 9 months past being my problem. It's not my baby. She messages me again. My boyfriend, the one she cheated on me with, and I have nowhere to stay. Still, 9 months past my problem. Now, Angelica has never worked a day in her life. She lives off the disability check from her boyfriend and spends it 99% on weed and fast food. She never paid rent and is documented to never pay rent. Anyway, she tells me, my name is still on the lease. We're gonna move in September. I tell her, your name is not on the lease. It was renewed last month and I took your name off. I'm sorry. She messages me calling me a jerk and saying she's moving in because she has nowhere for her baby and 3 dogs to stay. Mind you, my apartment is more like a studio and barely fits me, let alone 2 other people and 3 dogs. So I tell her it's not happening. I'm moving out of town soon anyway. Also, come and pick up your stuff that you left at my apartment 9 months ago. She says no, and that if I throw it away, she's going to press charges. I tell her it doesn't matter, because when I move, I'm throwing it away. She later called my landlord and told him I was planning on moving out. I got upset at this and told her I ran the numbers on the car, and it's still in my name. So, get the car out of my name now, or I'm repossessing it, or she can just leave me the frick alone. She started bawling on a call asking how I could do this to her and her unborn child and that I was condemning her and her child to be homeless. She also still has a gun in my name that I told her to give back or I'm calling the cops. I'm really considering repossessing the car since it was mine from the start and is still in my name. She doesn't deserve to get a free car handed to her. She needs to wake up. She keeps saying she needs a place to stay, that I'm ruining her and her baby's life. It's literally my apartment that she's never once paid rent on. I don't know how she thinks she's entitled to just live in my apartment with the guy she cheated on me with and 3 dogs. I hope the baby ends up okay. It's not its fault its mother is a spoiled brat, but I also hope being homeless and careless wakes her the frick up. Yeah, OP, you've got the right mindset here, but you need to go further. I mean, come on. Why are you still paying for her stuff? She cheated on you 9 months ago, and you're still paying for her phone bill. She's still using your car. Come on, dudes. Grow a backbone. What you're saying here is all good and well, but you should have done this 9 months ago, and you need to do it now. Ultimately, you have to be selfish in this situation. She was selfish in the first place by cheating on you and leaving you in the mud, but it worked out for you, and now you got to be selfish back. You can't help her out too much. It's her life. She's got to wake up. As you said, you were right. Get her gone.